So I'm really excited because Flexagons are one of my favorite things to play with. They are kind of a puzzle book, and it's deceptively simple, the construction. I'm going to show you how to do this type of Flexagon, and it's Flexagon. You can look it up online. There are an endless variety of ways that you can fold paper together and create hidden panels. But this way I like a lot because it doesn't require any measuring or angles or anything like that. And this is called a tetrahexa Flexagon because there are going to be 4 discrete pages, separate pages, and 6 sections. So let's get started. I'm going to use my a half a piece of the construction paper that was in my creativity kit. You can use anything that is just slightly heavier than copier paper. If copier paper is all you have, or a legal pad or something like that, that's fine. But a little heavier paper works better. So I'm going to set it on my table so that it is landscape orientation. Everybody knows portrait and landscape, right? And I'm going to hold the paper down with my left hand and fold with my right. I'm going to fold it in half like a hamburger. Now, if you are left-handed, you may find it a lot more comfortable to switch these. Have your right hand be your holder and fold with your left hand. So if you're left-handed, feel free to do it the other direction. So I folded that in half. I'm going to turn it. So if I was going to open it, it would open like a birthday card. And I'm going to hold with my holder, take my top leaf only, bend it back, match it up with that fold. As we do these projects, you're going to hear these first 4 steps a lot because they're the basis for a lot of our folded projects. Then I'm going to flip the whole thing upside down. I'm going to repeat that. Hold with my left hand, bend the top leaf backwards, match that edge up as nicely as I can with the fold. Give it a really nice crease. With this project in particular, the nicer your folds are, the better this is going to work. And so if you need a little help getting those really nice, just ask somebody to give you a hand, okay? So I'm going to lift the wings up so I have my paper airplane, kind of like we did in our last project. And I'm going to get the wings out of the way. This time I'm going to cut through the fold. I'm going to make 2 cuts that are going to go all the way exactly to this fold line. And I'm making them about, kind of cutting it into thirds. So they're not too close together, they're not too far apart. And see, mine aren't perfect, that's fine. Then I'm going to open my page up so it's like a big M. And I'm going to stick my hand underneath and bring that center part up. Kind of like we did with the pop-ups, huh? This is just going to make this a lot easier to cut. I have 1 cut I need to make. And see this line right here? This is the most important part of making sure that this functions really nicely. So I'm going to cut as nicely as I can, just right down the center. I'm going to take my time, cut right down the center of that bumpy line if I can. Okay, so now I have this tongue. Okay, so now I'm going to need a piece of tape. I'm going to use a little piece of masking tape. And I want to make sure that that tape is not any longer than my tongue or any taller than my tongue. If it sticks over a little bit, give it a little. You could also use a piece of one of your sticker papers that were in your creativity kit for this. So I'm going to set that right there so it's ready when I need it. Okay, so we're ready to assemble. So I'm going to take this tongue and I'm going to poke it through so it comes out the other side. And I'm going to fold it over. Okay. Then I'm going to take this whole unfolded panel and I'm going to roll it underneath. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to roll that whole thing underneath. Okay. You might need to pause and repeat that a couple of times. For some reason, that underneath can kind of hang people up a little bit. Okay, now here's my little tab. I'm just going to tape my tab. And remember, if your tape goes down here or up here, trim it a little bit. So the side with the tape, that is going to be my page number 1. And on page number 1, I'm going to draw some circles. Oh. And you can see that sometimes the tape and the where the cut edges of the paper are kind of hang up a little bit. But I just think it's nicer if you treat this like one sheet of paper. Don't treat it like 6 little separate things and draw a little I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it just is a little more dramatic if you do it the other way. Okay, I'm going to flip it upside down. This is page number 2. And on page number 2, I'm going to draw squares. And I'm drawing them all over just so you can see that these don't share any panels with any other page. Okay, when I'm on page number 2, I can't do anything when I'm on page number 1, but when I'm on page number 2, these 2 edges on the outside, I'm going to fold them back so they touch. They have to be touching back there. Then I'm going to pull the center apart with my thumbs. Whoa! So this is page number 3. And on page number 3, I'm going to put triangles. Okay. So on page number 3, I'm going to take these outside edges. I'm going to fold them backwards. I'm going to open it up, and there is page number 4. What you probably want to do is you're not going to draw on yours first. You're just going to find your pages 1, 2, 3, and 4. Write the numbers on them so that when you're doing your drawings, you can remember what's what. I'm just doing this just so you can see for illustration purposes how this works. Okay, so when I get to page number 4, I can't go any farther, okay? So I can bring it forwards and pull it up, or I can flip it over. And look, my 3 is backwards. So my 2 is backwards, and then I get back to my 1. Okay, so play with that a little bit. It takes a little time to just kind of figure out how to roll it around. And just remember, when you get to 4, can't go any further. You have to go the other direction. And I want to share a couple that I have made over the years. This is one that I did about the season. So here's spring, summer, fall, and winter. And the reason you don't see the tape is I actually made a piece of printed material that was printed with my design that I taped over that so that you couldn't really see it. So this is actually on yours. This would be page number 1. And then there's fall, summer. Oh, and remember, I can't go any further. And there's spring. And then I want to show you another one. This is one that we did years ago for an exhibit that was up at Blue Mountain Community College. And I sent these out to people, and it was funny because they didn't know how to open it, and it was really hard to teach them. So here's my page 1, my page 2, my page 3 with a bunch of poorly designed information, and page 4. So this was actually the page with the tape, and I put a little accordion on there, you can see, and then put some tape on there. The tape was actually in the shape of had the picture of my thumbs on it. Anyway, so that's kind of fun. So you can play with all kinds of things with this structure, and I can't wait to see what you make. It might be nice, instead of a photograph, to put a little video in the comments if you get a chance, okay? So that's the basic tetrahexaflexagon, and we will see you again soon. Thanks.